say, and you told me how to say it when you looked into my eyes. Oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gonna hide. I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but maybe they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again. Sometimes I feel like my words are slipping away from me. And when I'm around you, I have nothing to say to you. Inside my head, all the world makes sense in a funny way. But when I try to tell you about what you and I should be, but I knew not what to say, and I knew not how to say it, and I couldn't even tell you why. No, I couldn't even tell you why. I knew then that all of my breaths were in about the way things are, but it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gonna hide. I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed, the world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but maybe they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for this evening, Mr. Lewis Jones. Shut up, you people. You're too kind. You're too damn kind. Thank you. Good evening. Hello. I hope this finds you very well. Good week for me, I think, in general. Felt a bit up and down, but mostly okay. Of course, sure many of you would have seen my star performance last week on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Very, very happy to help my good friend Nina win some money. Been really funny. There's just been like articles in the rags being like, this girl's insane, and Twitter people went crazy about it, and they didn't. It's just like 3 tweets of people going, well, she lost some money, but she won some money, and that is the important thing, I think. Been a busy week for me on the quiz front. Isn't every week. Had some extra quizzes to do. A couple charity quizzes, both of which went really well. I think raised, about 500 quid between the two of them, which is pretty good, right? And hopefully we'll be raising more this evening. But yeah, I mean, it has meant, the busyness has meant that I'm here right now doing this quiz, and I've written pretty much all this quiz today. Normally, I have it done beforehand and ready, but no, I've rushed through today Does that make it a better quiz? Does it make it a worse quiz? I don't know. Good evening and good evening indeed to everyone in the live chat. Love to see you. Rodri says the shirt is back. Yeah, I've got a shirt. It's warm today, Rod. So I thought I'd have something a bit more, a bit lighter. And it's sort of that light material. And it doesn't button all the way to the bottom. And it's got this no collar. I like it. Yaroslav says new room. It's my same room, Yaroslav. I just have opened the window because it's still light outside. Normally I'm like, oh, I'll make it work. But no, I thought I'd keep it light today. I've even got my window open. Lovely to see. And Mum says hi. Hi, Mum. Hope you're well. I think that's me for the week. I think so. I think we should get on with the quiz. As I said, yeah, I do worry when I come up with a quiz on the fly, and I've spent doing it at the time. I feel like sometimes that means I make a harder quiz. If that is the case, I apologise. But I don't really, because I love to test you. You've been doing too well the last couple of weeks, and maybe this is the week where I come at you. But anyway, let's see what's happening. Let's go to the big thing. Also, this week I made some mistakes with the software that I'm using to send this quiz to you, and I had to basically rebuild my entire infrastructure. Hopefully, I've done it all right. Do let me know, like if I'm not loud enough, stuff like that, normal stuff. Let me know. That will be good. But anyway, let's look at what is what down here. There we are. So as always, if you're a hardcore quiz fan, you want something a bit tougher, even than this quiz, I do a email each week. You can sign up to it at that email address, tinyletter.com, Reckless Rapid. I think I send that to about 60 people every week now, which is brilliant. Really happy about that. It's got questions in it like this. What connects chance, cash, cover, and nose? If you're looking at those and you're going, what was it? And you realise they're all things that you can blow your chance, blow some cash, blow your cover, blow your nose, then maybe that quiz could be for you. I would recommend signing up. This week's winners, it was a hard week. After 2 weeks where teams had scored 10 out of 10, it was a much harder week this week. But this week's winners are the Ryder Grantham clan, and specifically I think Izzie. But well done to them. Congratulations. A second win under their belt. Haven't got a reply from Pyro Tiger in the last couple of weeks. I hope Pyro Tiger's well. I don't know if you're watching tonight, Pyro Tiger. I don't really know where Pyro Tiger came from. Like, he's not my friend. Well, he's my friend now, I like to think. But he had 2 wins. I've not had responses from him lately. So, wherever he is, I hope he's doing well. Anyway, how this quiz is going to work, it's the classic format, guys. It's the classic format. 5 rounds, 10 questions each. Each round has a Google form. Those are below in the description, or you can see them on the Facebook group. At the end of each round, I'll ask you to submit your answers. Me and my assistant Alice will mark all of them at half-time, at the end, and throughout. Whoever has the most points at the end will win. And as always, please remember, never forget it, don't cheat. Because as you know, cheats do prosper, but they're bell ends. Let's never forget that. The prize. 50 English pounds. Whoever wins tonight will get 50 English pounds sent to them from me. That could be you if you win tonight. I know there's a lot of teams out there who haven't got that first W on the board yet and are desperate for it. I hope it's one of you guys. If you would like to give us money so we can give away that £50 prize, you can do that by going to this email address, paypal.me/LJ47. You can also go to my Monzo or just DM me if you need my details. But that PayPal address is probably the easiest way of doing it. And yeah, all money that you submit, most of it will go to charity. Some will go to the winner, and I may take a little bit myself. But only a little bit. I'll probably give most of it to charity this week because I think it's an especially deserving cause. We shall see about that. So last week, we gave £150 to the Cambridge and Peterborough and South Lincolnshire branch of Mind, as suggested to us by Jenna and Sean. This week, we are donating to Learning Together in support of that charity in memory of Jack Merritt. I never knew Jack, sadly, and I'll live with that regret. But he was a great friend of many great friends of mine, and I'm sure you read the story when it happened at the tail end of last year, when sadly Jack was killed in a terrorist attack in London. We all remember that, I'm sure. as long ago as that feels. But Jack, from everything that I've heard about him from so many people, was a wonderful, wonderful human being. My excellent friend Maxwell Tate, who was one of Jack's best friends, has sent me a few words to read out about Jack and about this charity. Let me just find it. On Sunday, more than 1,000 people ran, walked, cycled to celebrate the life of Jack Merritt by raising money for Learning Together, the programme that Jack worked for. Learning Together is an initiative run by the University of Cambridge that brings together people in criminal justice and higher education institutions to study alongside each other, encourage support, education and rehabilitation to a part of society that is systematically alienated. Jack was passionate about providing a voice to the marginalised and vulnerable groups in society, something increasingly prevalent in our country. But Jack was also passionate about sitting down and having a drink with his friends, something I hope everyone is doing tonight for the quiz. Cheers. Those words from Maxwell Tate. A very good man, I'm sure we can all agree. So thank you for those. It's for Learning Together that we are raising money tonight. So please, all donations are very, very, very much appreciated. Please go to that PayPal link. A couple people saying I'm quiet. I'll turn myself up slightly. That looks better. I'm looking at the little bar. Hopefully that's okay. Anyway, let's actually get on to asking questions. We are here for a quiz. And this first round is on ills. As you may have noticed, every week we're going alphabetically through the alphabet, obviously, and finding a 3-letter word that is in each of the answers in round 1. So we're on week 9. I is the 9th letter of the alphabet, I'm pretty sure. I think it is. So all of these answers will have the letter I-L-L in it. You know how it works. And let's hit you with question number 1. Question number 1. Which English romantic poet and painter is best known for his poem The Tiger and Did Those Feet in Ancient Time set to music as Jerusalem? That should be poems. Already, we started, and there's already something that I would consider a typo, and I've effed it. My apologies to everyone. I'm better than this. But which English romantic poet and painter is best known for his poems The Tiger and Did Those Feet in Ancient Time, which is set to music as Jerusalem? Name that poet and painter. Poet and painter and prophet. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Max says shout out to Paul and Sarah tuning in the first time. Hello, Paul and Sarah. Hope you enjoy yourselves this evening. Matt the Whale says nice looking bed sheets. They're my best bed sheets, Matt. I'm very happy with them. Ben says Leonie, James and Lewis here having a barbecue with your quiz on Bluetooth speaker. This is summer. You're goddamn right. That sounds heavenly. Love you guys. Yaroslav says the room is completely different. Yep, that's what light does. That is what light does. Most people say the volume's okay, which is good. Izzie says that she won the email quiz all by herself, and her family says she's a liar. I believe them. And Yaroslav says, thank you for the easier charity quizzes. They were great as well. You're very welcome. Very happy with the last 2 that I've done this week, which is very good. I think that's everyone's comments. So that is question number 1. Which English romantic poet and painter is best known for his poem The Tiger and Did Those Feet in Ancient Time set to music as Jerusalem? Question number 2 is a picture of a cute looking weird thing. What is it? This is the 9-banded species of what animal native to the Americas? This is the 9-banded species of what animal native to the Americas? I've seen the first few donations have been coming through, which is lovely to see. Thank you very much. As I said, winnings, charity, and a little bit for me for making this. That's where the money goes. So all of it is very much appreciated. I'm pretty sure all the guys that regularly play, you're donating every week. There might be a couple out there who I've spied not donating, and I give you an eye. But otherwise, you're doing great. Also, I think I should probably give a shout out to Susan Goodwin. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Susan. Hope you're having a wonderful evening and a wonderful day. If anyone else has got a birthday that needs shouting out, do let me know. That was question 2. This is the 9-banded species of what animal native to the Americas? Question number 3. Which Essex town in the borough of Basildon is the home of Dickie in a song by Ian Drury and the home of the Shipman family in Gavin and Stacey? Which Essex town in the borough of Basildon is the home of Dickie in a song by Ian Drury and the home of the Shipman family in Gavin and Stacey? People in the chat, Yaroslav and Diego both clearly missing Pyrotiger. We all miss Pyrotiger. I'll have to send him an email, check he's okay. Maybe he's busier now. The world's opening up again. That's question number 3. Question number 3. Which Essex town in the borough of Basildon is the home of Dickie in a song by Ian Drury and the home of the Shipman family in Gavin and Stacey? Dan's message say not to be confused with the Shipman family from Greater Manchester. Very, very much so, Dan. That would be unfortunate. That is not a doctor we're clapping for this evening. Question number 4. Which Mexican filmmaker, whose work is often characterised by fairy tale and horror elements, won a Best Director Oscar in 2018 for The Shape of Water? Which Mexican filmmaker, whose work is often characterised by fairy tale and horror elements, won a Best Director Oscar in 2018 for The Shape of Water? A fantastic film. In the chat, Austin says, what are the logistics of being phone a friend? So many questions. What sort of time window are you sat by your phone? Is there someone there with you? Are you allowed to talk about it? Is it like Fight Club? I think I'm allowed to talk about it, Austin. So you're allowed to give 2 people as your phone a friend. So Nina had me and her dad. They knew exactly when she was going to be on her recording time. And obviously they had like 6 people at a time doing fastest finger. And it's basically like a 2-hour slot where you can be called, and they do send someone to you. We had a man who'd driven over from Wakefield, who worked for a security company, a private security company hired by the producers. They came over and they sat in the living room. Was watching Star Wars at the time and eating a nice chicken sandwich. It's really good chicken sandwich. But yeah, they just sat there until, and actually he sat outside in his car until it was confirmed that Nina was on the show. Then as soon as she was in the hot seat, he came inside and sat down and then filmed me as the phone call happened. It was strange. It was a strange day, but hey, profitable, and that's all that matters. Sorry for that anecdotal diversion. Question number 4, that is, which Mexican filmmaker, whose work is often characterised by fairy tale and horror elements, won a Best Director Oscar in 2018 for The Shape of Water? A fantastic film if you've not seen it. Question number 5, halfway through this round. Which English football team's last major trophy was the 1996 League Cup, a competition that they reached the final of this year? Which English football club's last major trophy was the 1996 League Cup, a competition that they reached the final of this year? I had to double check that that's correct. I just had a thought like, what if I got that wrong? If I made it up. Yaroslav says, pray for chicken sandwich. Always pray for chicken sandwich. It was sort of at that time where everyone was eating that Popeyes chicken sandwich in America, and I really wanted it, so I tried to like recreate it on a budget, and it worked. It was a delicious treat. Rodri says, has anyone ever seen him and Pyrotiger in the same room? It's a very good point. It is a very good point. I've not seen either of you in any room. So certainly haven't seen you in the same. That is your question number 5. Which English football club's last major trophy was the 1996 League Cup? On to question number 6. Which battle of the American Revolutionary War fought in Massachusetts on the June 17th, 1775 was a tactical, though Pyrrhic, victory for the British? Which battle of the American Revolutionary War fought in Massachusetts on the 17th of June 1775 was a tactical, though Pyrrhic, victory for the British? Of course, Pyrrhic victory is a victory where you win, but you're like, did we win? At what cost? I think they lost about 1,000 men or something like that, though they did manage to keep whatever the tactical point that they needed was. Of course, they wouldn't win the war. Finally giving up 6 years later at the Battle of Yorktown. I've seen a couple more donations have been coming through. Thank you very much. I should start doing shout-outs to everyone who has donated to encourage it, I think. So I got money from Phil Weaver, Charles Patterson, Reese Collingbourne, Jenny Clark, Eden Delicious Drinks. I don't know who that is, but I love it. Susan Goodwin, Rachel Brown, Katrin Jones, Jack Lewis, Charlotte Wayne, my mum. My mum normally sends me money on Monzo. She sent it on PayPal tonight. I don't know why. And Jack Raven. Thank you to all of those people. And Lilith and Abby have signed up to my tiny letter. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy that. Daniel, who is American and also is supplying us the music tonight, thank you very much to him for that, says, I think that's the first time I've ever heard anyone say we in identification with Britain in the Revolutionary War. Threw me off. Lovely stuff. So that's question number 6. Which battle of the American Revolutionary War was fought in Massachusetts on June 17th, 1775? Question number 7. Which Spanish city, the largest in Andalusia region, is famous for the Alcazar Palace and for its bitter oranges? Which Spanish city, the largest in the Andalusia region, is famous for its Alcazar Palace and its bitter oranges? For this one, of course, there's a Spanish spelling and English spelling. Both have ill in it, so I'll accept either. Mum says, a change is as good as a rest, Lewis. True, you're not wrong. I don't know why, if that's what she... I just try not to understand any of my mum's decisions, to be honest. She's a mystery. A mystery. I'd love her, though. Got another donation from Victoria Ives. Thank you very much, Victoria. I'm like a proper YouTuber now, or like a Switch, what's it called? Twitch. A Twitch streamer. Shouting at people, giving me the subs. It's a new tactic. I hope it's working. Also, thank you to everyone who shared the event this week. I wasn't giving points out this week. I didn't say anything about giving points. So if you did it just because you wanted points, sorry. But very happy just to have the word spread. Really appreciate it. Thank you. So that's question number 7. Which Spanish city, the largest in the Andalusia region, is famous for the Alcazar Palace and for its bitter oranges? Question number 8. 3 left in this round. Born in Barking, which folk punk singer-songwriter had his only UK number 1 with a cover of the Beatles' She's Leaving Home, which was a double A-side with Wet Wet Wet's cover of With a Little Help from My Friends? Born in Barking, which folk punk singer-songwriter had his only UK number 1 with a cover of the Beatles' She's Leaving Home, which was a double A-side with Wet Wet Wet's cover of With a Little Help from My Friends? One of my favourite artists of all time. Not Wet Wet Wet. Nothing wrong with Marty Pello. Managed to get through the old heroin addiction quite well. But the person we're looking for, one of my faves. Also thrown, because I did one of my charity quizzes the other day for the Samaritans, I did a round on help, and that Wet 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 one was mentioned then, so I'm sort of reversing it. It's like a little Easter egg for the people that did that quiz as well. Hopefully some of the guys that played that night that I'd not had play with me before are joining in tonight. I'd love it if they were. That was question number 8. Question number 9. Which comedy duo's second sketch show featured characters including parodies of Jeeves and Wooster and Flanders and Swan, but most notably 2 World War II RAF pilots who speak in modern slang? Which comedy duo's second sketch show featured characters including parodies of Jeeves and Wooster and Flanders and Swan, but notably most notably 2 World War II RAF pilots who speak in modern slang? Austin in the chat says, thanks to his high school history teacher, Mr. Miller, he knew the answer to question 6. That's great. Sometimes we forget things that we learn at school. I know. It's good to bring them back sometimes. I swear I normally have this round done by now. I'm feeling like the last couple of quizzes have been slower than I like, and I don't know why, and I apologise, and hopefully we can speed them up as we go on. So that's question number 9 about that sketch show duo. And number 10, which Robbie Williams single, his first #1 single as a solo artist, features a sample of John Barry's score from You Only Live Twice? Which Robbie Williams single, his first #1 single as a solo artist, features a sample of John Barry's score from You Only Live Twice? You only live twice, or so they say. Beautiful song. Beautifully performed. Thank you very much to Stacey for the £5 she's just sent me. She said not House of Games. She's still annoyed last week when I didn't give points for House of Games instead of Richard Osman's House of Games. You know, call it by the proper title. And Jack is quizzing from the hot tub tonight. Good luck with that, Jack. I hope you don't drop it. I'm sure you'll manage it. So that's question number 10. So hopefully we can get this all sorted. I think we've got time. We've got good time. So as always, answer every question. You know they've got ILL in it. You might as well make a guess, even if it's absolute gobbledygook. Keep that ILL in it. Spell your team name correctly. Really important. Last week a couple of people didn't, and it really does make it much more hard for us. So please do that, and then press submit. If you send those through, we'll get them. So I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to about 1957. No, actually, let's to make it easier, I'll give you until after the clapping at 8. If we are still doing that. So I'll give you until 8 to get your answers in. Then we'll come back just after the clapping, so about 2 minutes past 8 to give you the answers. So I will see you in a couple.
The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. Doctor said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. Said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. Yesterday I spoke to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can. He said, son, I don't really know you, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you gotta go, you ought to do it with style, you know. Yeah, so go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. No, I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. So all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. Yeah, so all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. Went to the doctor, said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. Said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear.
Hello, I am back. Back. I hope that was a good applause. Lots of fireworks here this week. Last couple of weeks I haven't really heard anything. Big fireworks this week, and some of them were at about 2 minutes too. I don't know why. There's another one then. Just a barrage of them all evening. We'll see. Got some more donations. Let me see who to thank. Catherine Rayson, thank you. Thank you to Paige Naxton. I'm probably the biggest fan of the quiz there is, Paige, so I'm delighted to get that from you. Erica Emmond, who says thank you for the best night of the week. That's very kind. Miles Armstrong. Kieran Lawler, the absolute boy. Ms, who has sent me 3 weeks worth of donations because she is paying for America and hopefully it will avoid PayPal fees. Love it. Nigel, thank you very much. Helen Wilson, the excellent Helen Wilson. Check out her girl.on.film Instagram. It's fantastic. And a special thank you to Hannah Hitchin, who has sent me £10 via an e-check. I don't know how she's done that. It's different to every other payment I've received. But, it's great to have something different. It's great to mix it up. So thank you to everyone who's done that. And I think there's a couple things in the chat I needed to look at. Paige asks, are we the only team that change our team name every week? No, lots of people do, Paige. You'll see on the master post that I've posted, a few people have 3 or 4. There's one team that have a different team every week, and they're doing very well. So it means that gradually the whole spreadsheet is just their names. But I don't begrudge them it because it's fun. I think I've got everyone's answers in. We're in the mid-50s today. So if you haven't given me answer sheets, please do so. But I think that is probably everyone. Numbers are just slightly getting lower each week. I don't know why. Like I'm trying to increase it, and I know there's some of you that are doing this for the first time, and very much thank you. But anyone's got ideas about retaining? I know it's a sunny night. That might be part of it. I'm not going to get down about it because I'm very happy to have you guys here. That's the most important thing, right? But let's take a look at the answers to that first round. The answers to all of our ills, if you will. So, question number 1. Which English romantic poet and painter is best known for the tiger and for the words that became Jerusalem? That's William Blake. William Blake. I think it's his paintings that inspired Francis Dolarhyde in Red Dragon. I'm pretty sure. Number 2, this beautiful creature, the 9 baddest species of what animal? That is, of course, an armadillo. Armadillo. There was an armadillo in the Donkey Kong 64 game that had big cannons. Really liked that. Number 3, which Essex town in the borough of Basildon is home to Dickie in a song by Ian Dury, and the home of the Shipman family and Gavin Stacey? That, of course, is Billericay. Billericay Dickie by Ian Dury from his new Boots and Panties album. One of my faves. Check it out. Number 4, the Mexican filmmaker who won a Best Director Oscar for The Shape of Water, the excellent Guillermo del Toro, Pan's Labyrinth, if you've not seen that as well. Absolutely beautiful film. Terrifying, but beautiful. Number 5, the English football club whose last major trophy was the 1996 League Cup was Aston Villa. Aston Villa, they reached the final of that this year and lost, I think it was 2-1 to Manchester City, back when football was still on, if you can remember such a thing. Question number 6, the Battle of the American Revolutionary War, where the British claimed a tactical, though Pyrrhic victory, was the Battle of Bunker Hill. Battle of Bunker Hill. Number 7, the Spanish city, the largest in Andalusia, is Seville. Also, of course, we'll accept Sevilla, what they call it over there. Number 8, born in Barking, the folk punk singer who had a number 1 with a cover of the Beatles' She's Leaving Home is the excellent Billy Bragg. Can't beat a bit of Billy Bragg. If you want some revolutionary fervour up in you. Number 9, the comedies duo whose second sketch show featured characters including those World War II pilots was Armstrong and Miller. Of course, Alexander Armstrong, now more famous as the presenter of Pointless. And number 10, which Robbie Williams single features a sample of John Barry's score from You Only Live Twice? That's Millennium. Beautiful. I love the Robster. He's the greatest artist of this or any other generation. So that is your lot. Some very good scores there, some good guesses, and some very near misses. Some really good guesses. I look at when people get things wrong, and if I'm like, oh, it's a really good guess, I wish I could give you the point. I can't. That's not how quizzes work, but still, I appreciate it. Anyway, that's your round number 1. Onwards to round number 2. As always, that is Answer Smash, and this week Answer Smash looks like this. Answer Smash 21st Century Best Picture winners. I know there's a lot of film fans in the chat. Quite a few people I used to work with at the Picture House, who I'm sure will find the pictures very easy in this round, but can you get the questions underneath them? If you've not done an Answer Smash before, if you've not seen Richard Osman's House of Games on BBC Two, it works like so. I'm going to show you a picture. Here, you've got a picture. So you need to tell me what the film is. Obviously, that is Russell Crowe as Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the Northern Legions, husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son. He will have his vengeance in this life or the next. Classic. From the film Gladiator. And what name is given to an underwater missile, such as those fired from a submarine? That's a torpedo. The correct answer to this question would be Gladiatorpedo. You need both parts to get the point, and you need to smash them together. The picture will end with some letters that start the answer to the bottom question. You need to push them together. If you put the two answers next to each other and you repeat, we're not going to give you the point. We're going to be harsh, I'm afraid. You need to smush them together in order to get to the point. I believe in you. So these are all winners of the Best Picture Oscar who have won it in the 21st century. So hopefully a lot of them will be familiar and recent for you. Let's get going with them, shall we? Question number 1. This picture from a couple of years ago. Take the name of that film and combine it with purportedly discovered by Joseph Smith in 1823, which religious text gives its name to a hit musical from the creators of South Park. Purportedly discovered by Joseph Smith in 1823, which religious text gives its name to a hit musical from the creators of South Park. I'm sure quite a lot of you out there have seen that musical as well. I've never seen it myself, but I would really like to. Austin, unsurprisingly in the chat, says up the villa. Big Villa van, Austin. Love to see it. Yaroslav's mum loves Robbie Williams. Loved me and her kindred spirits, clearly, Yaroslav. He's the best. I love the Robster. What did she think of Party Like a Russian? Not my favourite of his. Helen says I'm quiet. My apologies. I will try and sort this out. And Yaroslav says he didn't like this film. I did see on your Twitter the other day that you said you didn't like this film, Yaroslav. I've not seen it myself, but to be honest, it seems a bit heavy-handed for me. I've turned my volume up a bit, and hopefully that will help you all out now if it's a bit quiet. So that's question number 2. Combine that film with the religious text that gives its name to a hit musical from the creators of South Park. Question number 2 in this Answer Smash round. This picture from in the mid-noughties. I think you can guess what sort of film that is if you've not seen it, but you might have heard of it. And combine that with what name is given to the generation born in the 20 years post-World War II between the silent generation and Generation X. What name is given to the generation born in the 20 years post-World War II between the silent generation and Generation X? Sean says in the message it is because of the sun and people eating barbecues in the garden. I thought that was the case, Sean. I mean, I'd love a barbecue right now. Got a few more donations coming through. One from Raymond Tate. Thank you very much, Raymond. One from the absolute boy, Maxwell Tate. Thank you, Maxwell, as always, for your work. Another one from Sean. Thank you. From Sassy P himself, Sammy Penn. And from Laura Matthews. Oh, and from Nick Ryder, who says, keep up the good work, Bamba. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All to those donations. As I said, most of the money that's raised tonight will be going to Learning Together, a really important charity, and we'd like to raise as much money as we can for that. So thank you to everyone who is donating. But that's question number 2. Name that film and then combine it with what name is given to the generation born in the 20 years before World War II, but post-World War II, sorry, after World War II, between the silent generation and Generation X. Moving on to question number 3. This film, not seen this one myself, heard a lot of good things, particularly notable for one behind-the-scenes reason. And what fibrous protein is what human hair and nails are made from, as well as the horn of the rhinoceros? What fibrous protein is what human hair and nails are made from, as well as the horn of the rhinoceros? People are saying the sound is better, but Adam says he wasn't expecting that and his ear wasn't a fan. My apologies, Adam. Only took me up about 20%. It can be a big 20%. My apologies. I don't want to burst any eardrums. Max and Toby just want impressions of all of these people in these films. Because I don't want to give anything away, maybe I'll wait until I give the answers out, but I'll try and do an impression of all of them throughout. Maybe not in these films, but I do. Certainly I've got some of these under my locker. Hint, hint. So that's question number 3. Combine that film with what fibrous protein is what human hair and nails are made from, as well as the horn of the rhinoceros. Question number 4. This film. Excellent film. incredible, terrifying performance by that actor there who won an Oscar for it himself. Not my favourite film of that year, though. Personally, I'd have given it to the other film. And combine that film with which Welsh song, famously featured in the film Zulu, describes the events of a castle siege in the 15th century. Which Welsh song, famously featured in the film Zulu, describes the events of a castle siege in the 15th century? One of the major Welsh national songs. And a beautiful one it is. That's question number 4. Question number 5. This film, such a good film. I listened to a podcast about it the other day, and I spent pretty much the rest of the day just thinking about it again. I think I'm probably a masterpiece, to be honest, and a film extremely of our times. I think it speaks very much to our times. But brilliant, a brilliant film. Combine that film with which footballer, along with Alan Shearer, scored twice in England's 4-1 win over the Netherlands at Euro 96. Which footballer, alongside Alan Shearer, scored twice in England's 4-1 win over the Netherlands at Euro 96. I'm using along with because Alan Shearer also scored 2. Though, I mean, technically he also was alongside him, leading the front line in that game. ITV2, or is it ITV4? One of the ITVs have been I think it's ITV4, have just been repeating Euro 96 on their channel, and I believe they've repeated this game yesterday. Probably, to be honest, England's best performance ever. I think I can think of very things close to it, certainly in my lifetime. Maybe the 3-2 against Spain a year and a half ago. But those are the two standout performances, certainly. But combine that film with the name of that footballer who scored twice in England's 4-1 win over the Netherlands at Euro 96. Toby says, Welsh question for the Ranker family. Yeah, basically. I threw it in there. Throw Rodri a bone. I thought he'd appreciate it. Also, I think it's a song they play at Cardiff City, and I know we've got at least one Cardiff City fan playing. Josh says, surely the 5-1 versus Germany, Lewis. Yeah, you're not wrong. Particularly to beat Germany there was a big deal. But it just felt like a procession. It was like, oh, we've won now. Maybe it meant less because it was in a it was just a World Cup qualifier, wasn't it? 2001. But yeah, I think you're probably right there, Josh. They're the big two. Adam says the Panama game was win. I mean, it was, but they were Panama. Adam, you know, I watched the highlights of that the other day and I really enjoyed it. But you know, so that's question number 5. Question number 6. This film, you, my friends, bow to no one. What a moment in cinema. And combine that with, sometimes called the 8th wonder of the world, which movie monster comes from Skull Island? Sometimes called the 8th wonder of the world, which movie monster comes from Skull Island? In fact, the director of that film there would also direct a film about this monster. Only just put that together now. But that's a lovely bit of happenstance. This was the highest quality picture I could find of this scene. I wanted it to be this scene for this film. just because the waistcoat work is exemplary. I don't know why that res was the highest one, and that guy's looking completely off the wrong direction, but still an amazing and moving scene in cinema history. So that's question 6. Combine that film, and I need the full title for this one. There is a colon, and you need the information both sides of that colon, and combine that with, sometimes called the 8th wonder of the world, which movie monster comes from Skull Island. Question number 7. This film, the one a few years ago, a very, very good film indeed, very beautiful. I think this was out when I was working at the Pitch House, so I could see films for free, which was a great time. I think, in fact, I might have seen it with Dan, who's watching today. Maybe, I can't remember. I have to check my records. But combine that film with, in electronics, what do the initials LED stand for? In electronics, what do the initials LED stand for? Sam Penn says that his mum and dad are now singing the Welsh song. I bet that is beautiful. I would love to hear that. Austin says, what about the 1-1 draw versus the USA in 2010? I can't remember it, to be honest, Austin, so I can't put it up there. I think I watched it in the Drabbit Smock in Haverhill, a depressing place to do anything, let alone watch a football match. I think I was with Matt Ott. But yeah, not a great moment. Better than the Algeria game, where I'd broken up with my girlfriend and then drunk a whole bottle of Southern Comfort and went to the pub and was just crying in the Royal Exchange. And the last thing I remember is, before the game even starting, my dad giving me a handkerchief to dry my eyes. And I don't remember anything apart from waking up the next morning at about 6 a.m. and I had to go to work at Sainsbury's, and Larry let me leave at half time or at lunch because I was drunk still and heartbroken. Classic combo. Great days. Adam says, what about Trinidad Tobago 2 USA 1? Got you back there. Lovely bit of business. I love it when the USA are at the World Cup, and I wish they were last time. It's a shame. You'll always have Tim Howard's massive performance. Was it against Germany in 2014? I think it was, wasn't it? One superb game of football. Anyway, question number 7. Let's stop talking about football. Combine that film with, in electronics, what do the initials LED stand for? Question number 8. This film, the return of Russell, after us seeing him in that question before, and combine it with, which phrase, meaning be on your best behaviour, may come from typesetting and the similarity between 2 lowercase letters. Which phrase, meaning be on your best behaviour, may come from typesetting and the similarity between 2 lowercase letters. It's one of those phrases where people don't actually know 100% where it came from, and they think that might be one of the reasons for it. Yaroslav says Tim Howard is underrated. I would 100% agree, Yaroslav. Obviously, I mean, he was decent at United, I thought. Not their best period, but I thought he was very decent. And, very, very good at Everton. And some great performances for the USA. A very stable keeper for a long time. Austin says Howard versus Belgium it was. I think you might be right. I knew it was some people in that area of Europe, certainly. I remember it being a good performance. A lot of saves. Did he break the record for number of saves? Something like that. Anyway, so this is question 8. Which phrase, meaning be on your best behaviour, may come from typesetting and the similarity between 2 lowercase letters? Moving forwards, question number 9. This film, another one I haven't seen, but one often cited as the worst film to ever win Best Picture. Combine that with the 3rd best-selling single of the 2000s, It Wasn't Me, featuring Rick Rock, was the 3rd UK number 1 for which artist? One of my favourite artists. An incredible artist. The 3rd best-selling single of the 2000s, I think only behind Will Young's Evergreen and Gareth Gates's version of Suspicious Minds. I think it's the 3rd best-selling single of all time. Or no, 3rd best-selling of that decade. Incredibly. I mean, I had it on CD single. Great memories of it. Combine that with the 3rd best-selling single of the 2000s, It Wasn't Me, featuring Rick Rock, was the 3rd UK number 1 for which artist? Got another donation in from Rodri. Thank you very, very much. And I've been given another possible explanation for the phrase in the last question by Dan Harling. I will read that out when we come to it. Don't want to give too much away. Boom, boom, boom. Let's move on to question number 10. Last one of the round. This picture here, some fantastic haircuts. Both of those actors. The guy on the left looks better than he does now. He's sort of gone a bit mad and he got a big back tattoo. Do you remember that? Strange. But then he's going out with Ana de Armas. So he's doing well out of it. Anyway, so combine that with released in 2015 under controversial circumstances, which book is a supposed sequel to To Kill a Mockingbird? I should have written To Kill a Mockingbird in italics, and I hate myself. My apologies. Released in 2015 under controversial circumstances, which book is a supposed sequel to Kill a Mockingbird? People still talking about football. Molly's still annoyed that everyone's talking about football. Sorry, Moldog. Anyway, that's your last question in this round. So combine that film with released in 2015 under controversial circumstances, which book is a supposed sequel to Kill a Mockingbird? That is your lot. Please make sure you've answered every question. If you've only got half, guess the other half. Why not? You might be able to rustle something up from the back of your brain. Spell your team name correctly. Whatever it is, spell it the same as you did in the first round. It will really, really help us out and get the answers out quicker at the end. And then press submit. That will come through to us and we can get marking on it. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes, let's say until 2 minutes to get those in. I'll see you in a couple.
And lately you haven't been listening the way you used to be near me, but I can't let it
Hello, I am back. Answers seem to be coming in, and I've had a few compliments on my shirt, which is always lovely. Thank you very much. I know it's just lovely light material. It is nice. Boom, 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 boom. About 10 more to come in, I think. So waiting for those guys, please do. I'm also researching the alternate derivations of that phrase that we spoke about. And Jess in the chats had asked what the link is, so I've supplied that again. It's paypal.me/LJ47. Thank you very much for playing, Jess. Delighted to have you here. I did a charity quiz on Saturday night for Jess and for the Samaritans of Wigan. We raised about £350, I think it was, which is excellent. Excuse me. Has everyone entered? Yep, I think we're pretty much there, so I'm happy to give you these sweet, sweet answers. So let's take a look. Answer Smash 21st Century Best Picture winners. The answers are as follows. That picture with Viggo Mortensen, who will appear twice in this round, and Mahershala Ali, who won Best Picture. This won Best Picture, and he also won Best Supporting Actor, his second win in that, after having won for another film that we'll see in this round. And purportedly discovered by Joseph Smith, the religious text is the Book of Mormon. So it's Green Book of Mormon, combining the two. Joseph Smith, of course, found the Book of Mormon on some gold tablets in the middle of the USA, and no one ever saw them other than him. But he went, let's start a religion, and he did. And it worked out quite well for him. Question number 2. This film, Hilary Swank and Clint Eastwood. Well, you're feeling lucky, that guy. What name is given to the generation between the 20 people born in the 20 years after World War II? You combine the two answers and you get $1 million baby boomers. $1 million baby boomers, $1 million baby boomers. Very lovely stuff. Number 3, this film, the first film to have a female director win Best Picture. Never happened before. I think it's the first film directed by a woman to have won Best Picture as well. That is The Hurt Locker, directed by Catherine Bigelow. And what fibrous protein is what human hair and nails are made from? That is keratin. The Hurt Lock keratin. The Hurt Lock keratin. Question number 4. This one, directed by the Coen brothers. Probably their most awarded picture. Maybe not my favourite, though. That is the excellent No Country for Old Men. And which Welsh song describes the events of a castle siege? That's Men of Harlech. The correct answer is No Country for Old Men of Harlech. Sung in Zulu. Beautiful. Number 5. This year's winner of Best Picture. If you remember that time when the Oscars were still happening before everything went crazy. That is the superb Parasite. And the first picture, not in the English language, to win, of course. It's in South Korean. And which footballer scored twice in England's 4-1 win over the Netherlands? That's the absolute boy, Teddy Sheringham. So the correct answer is Parasite Teddy Sheringham. Parasite Teddy Sheringham. Number 6. Those hobbits, of course. Merry, Frodo, Sam and Pippin, I think. Pippin took. Merry, Doc, Brandy, Buck, Pippin, yeah. Pippin's the one on the right because he's a fool of a took. And so that's the third of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, or Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. You don't need those additional thes at the front. And sometimes called the eighth wonder of the world. The movie monster is King Kong. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King Kong. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King Kong. Of course, King Kong, the 2005 version, also directed by P.T. Jacks. Number 7. This film, surprisingly few of you fell into the hole that I wanted you to here. There were 2 films back-to-back that ended light, spotlight and moonlight. This was moonlight. And in electronics, LED stands for light emitting diode. So the correct answer is moonlight emitting diode. Number 8, this film, Russell Crowe. I can only do an impression of Russell Crowe in the film Les Mis, where he plays Javert. And in One Day More, he's like, we're ready for these schoolboys. They will wet themselves with blood. I think that's pretty spot on. And that's him as the mathematician John Nash, who did a lot of great work on game theory, and which phrase, meaning be on your best behaviour, may come from typesetting. That's mind your P's and Q's. The correct answer, a beautiful mind your P's and Q's. Let me just take a look. So Dan Harling, on a beer course that he did, learning about beer for the Pitch House, it might come from mind your pints and quarts, said by ye olde barmen when people were getting too drunk and leery. That's one of the other possible explanations, if not typesetting. It also might have just come from a poem written by Charles Churchill. It might also just be that P's is please and Q's thank yous, mend your pleases and thank yous, shortened to P's and Q's. I think that one sounds probably the most likely. Other stories considered fanciful come from French instructions to mind one's pieds and Q's, i.e. feet and wigs, while dancing. Less likely. I think that one. And Daisy asked if they missed the on Hot Luck. If you've missed the at the start, I won't be too harsh on that one. Cam says, where's the reggaeton? I'm going to build reggaeton in when I can, mate. I've been trying to think about it. When I did that University Challenge style quiz the other week, there was a question about reggaeton. Sadly, it wasn't asked to us. Yaroslav says Birdman's probably his favourite from the Oscars after Parasite. I wanted to put Birdman in, but of course the full name of Birdman is Birdman, or the unexpected virtue of ignorance, something like that. So I didn't want to put that in. Adam says, do we get the point if you didn't put Lord of the Rings? I did say you needed both parts. My apologies, Adam. You do need both parts for that one. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Number 9, this picture, often said the worst to have won Best Picture, is Crash from 2005, I think it won, directed by Paul Haggis. And the third best-selling single of the 2000s was by Shaggy. Shaggy. Seeing as believing, or you better change your specs. One of the best lyrics of all time. I think Carolina and Mr. Bombastic had been his previous number ones. He would then have a number one with his following single, Angel. Surprisingly, did not have a number one with his collaboration with Ali G on Majuli. I think that was only number 2. Big surprise. And number 10, this film, there is Ben Affleck and Bryan Cranston. Ben Affleck, of course, directed this movie as well. Controversially, didn't get a nomination for Best Director, but did win Best Picture. And that is Argo, named after the ship Jason and the Argonauts, of course. And released in 2015 under controversial circumstances, the sequel, apparently a sequel to Killing Mockingbird, is Go Set a Watchman. So the correct answer, Go Set a Watchman. Go Set a Watchman. That is your lot for that round. Let me just see if there was anything. No, I think everyone had one message from Ellie saying they submit her answers just before I started reading. Did you count it? Yeah, it's all counted. Don't you worry about that. And the retracted crew are back, which I do love to see. Anyway, so that's your lot there. We're going to move on to round 3, which as always is the music round. And the music round this week is inspired by a suggestion I had last week. I'm always looking for new ideas for a music round. So I've got one. I'm calling this one Siri Sings. Siri Sings. So I think it was Toby, perhaps, who suggested it. He's been sending me some good suggestions. I'm going to get Siri, or to be honest, it's not going to be Siri because I couldn't work out a way to get Siri to do it. I'm going to get a text-to-speech thing to read the lyrics to some songs. Just as the songs we did last week, some of these songs are amongst the best-selling of all time in the UK, so they should all be songs that you know. I'm going to give you the year. All you need to do is name the song. You don't need to name the artist, just the song. That will do. There'll be 10. For every song you name correctly, you get 1 point. Should be okay, I hope. Let me just arrange this. So I'm going to need to open up the folder that I have all these lyrics in and find the text-to-speech thing. Something's happened in the chat. I don't know what's happening. People were saying pray for Ludejaw. It was Jack Ludejaw, but I don't know what that means. But yeah, I'm glad everyone's enjoying themselves in the chat as always. I have no idea what you're doing most of the time. Okay, let me just test.
Hello.
That was the machine saying hello. I've selected the UK voice, Audrey, and she's going to be reading at speed 4. I hope that is okay for all of you. So here is song number 1. I think this, pretty much all these songs have been number 1 singles, and a couple of them might have been number 1 a couple of times. If I've put a date, it's the most recent time that it's been number 1. So this one certainly has been number 1 before, but I've just given you the date. Maybe make it a little bit harder for you. The more recent date, which is 1991. So, and I've started you with an easy one though, so it shouldn't be too hard. Oh, people saying that it was Jack Ludejaw who suggested the Siri round last week. I think you might be right. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jack, for that. Anyway, let's take a look at this. This is question number 1 in this music round. What is this song from these lyrics?
Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head. Pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun. But now I've gone and thrown it all away.
I'll play that once more. I think it's easy and you should have all got it. Just name the song.
Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head. Pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun. But now I've gone and thrown it all away.
That's your number 1. Onwards to number 2. Boom, this song from 1977. If you can imagine such a thing in the past. Here is number 2. The name of the song would be at the end of this bit, but I've chopped it off, if that helps. So, number 2.
Far have I travelled, and much have I seen. Darkest of mountains with valleys of green. Past painted deserts the sun sets on fire. As he carries me home to the...
Oh, and I've got a few more donations. Thank you to Dan Harling, as always. Malia Shah, part of Team Twerking From Home. A great team. Love to have them involved. And Josh Chalish. Thank you to all of those guys for donations. Let's play that again. That's number 2. What is this song?
Far have I travelled, and much have I seen. Darkest of mountains with valleys of green. Past painted deserts the sun sets on fire. As he carries me home to the...
Phil Weather saying it's a bit quick. I know, Phil. I thought, I couldn't have it too obvious. I have to throw something in there because otherwise, just these lyrics from these super famous songs, I have to throw a little bit of difficulty. And there's some anti-Scouse sentiment which I won't have. So that was number 2. Let's move on to number 3. I mean, some of these you should maybe just even get just from the year, to be honest, because they're big hits. This one from 1963.
You think you've lost your love? Well, saw her yesterday, it's useless thinking of. And she told me what to say,
Beautifully read by Audrey, I'm sure you'll agree. Once more.
You think you've lost your love? Well, saw her yesterday, it's useless thinking of. And she told me what to say,
Another one I'm sure that you know. Some of these are harder though. I hope. So that was number 3. Remember, if at any point when we're doing the break, before I give you the answers, you can always just scroll back if you missed anything. Question number 4. This song from 1983.
There's loving in your eyes all the way. If I listen to your lies, would you say, I'm a man without conviction, I'm a man who doesn't know how to sell a contradiction. You come and go, you come and go. And
I'll play that once more.
There's loving in your eyes all the way. If I listen to your lies, would you say, I'm a man without conviction and a man who doesn't know how to sell a contradiction? You come and go, you come and go.
That was number 4. Number 5. This song from 1998. From 1998.
No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside. And I can't break through, there's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it, but after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one.
Got a message from Auntie Deb saying she can't hear it. Is anyone else having sound issues with this one? If so, let me know. I did my tests earlier and it all was fine on my end. But obviously, if not, I will increase the mic volume slightly on my side in case. I'll play that once more. Phil said it's a bit quick, but now he says get used to it. Good. That's what I hoped. I'll play that one again just in case. So that's number 5.
No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside. And I can't break through, there's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it, but after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one.
I think we've had that one enough now. Let's move on to question number 6. This song from 1982.
Risen up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances, went the distance. Now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times, it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive.
And once more.
Risen up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances, went the distance. Now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times, it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive.
Do you know what that one is? Let me know. Harry says, not going to lie, Audrey do be talented though. Not wrong. Hell of an artist. I'm surprised she hasn't had number 1 herself. Let's move on to question number 7. This song from 1978. It's a lot of copy and paste in this round. Here we are.
There the wicked carried us away in captivity. Required from us a song now, how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? There the wicked carried us away in captivity. Requiring of us a song. Now how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
I'll play that once more.
There the wicked carried us away in captivity. Required from us a song now, how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? There the wicked carried us away in captivity. Requiring of us a song. Now how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
That was your number 7 from 1978. On to question number 8. This song from 1995. I will let you know this is definitely another one that's had a few times at the top of the charts, but specifically these artists only ever had it at number 1 once.
Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch. A long, lonely time goes by so slowly. And time can do so much, are you still mine? I need your love, I need your love. Godspeed your love to me.
And once more from 1995.
Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch. A long, lonely time goes by so slowly. And time can do so much, are you still mine? I need your love, I need your love. Godspeed your love to me.
A beautiful rendition, a very beautiful rendition. I'm sure you'll agree. That was number 8. On to number 9. This song is from 2013. 2013. Tell me what it is.
Feeling my way through the darkness. Guided by a beating heart, I can't tell where the journey will end. But I know where to start, they tell me I am too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me.
This one I'd have had no clue. Not my era, maybe. I'm very good at pop until about 2010, and after 2010 really goes off a cliff. Being old, I guess. But can you name that song? This one from 2013.
Feeling my way through the darkness. Guided by a beating heart, I can't tell where the journey will end. But I know where to start, they tell me I am too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me.
Beautiful. I'm sure you'll agree. A beautiful sentiment. And finally, question number 10. This one from 2011. This is probably the last time I cared about pop music, and I really loved it. But I love this song. It's a hit.
Just shoot for the stars, if it feels right. And aim for my heart, if you feel like it. Take me away, and make it okay. I swear I'll behave, you wanted control, so we waited. I put on a show, now we're naked. You say I'm a kid, my ego's big. I don't give a shit, and it goes like this.
My apologies for the swear there.
Just shoot for the stars, if it feels right. And aim for my heart, if you feel like it. Take me away, and make it okay. I swear I'll behave, you wanted control, so we waited. I put on a show, now we're naked. You say I'm a kid, my ego's big. I don't give a shit, and it goes like this.
There you are. Those are your 10 songs for that round. All I need is the name of the song, not the name of the artist. I will, of course, tell you who the artist is when it comes to that bit, but all I need is the name of the song. So 10 songs. I'm going to give you 4 or 5 minutes. Let's say until Sophie's just asked for a longer break so you can scroll back, which is very understandable. So I'm going to give you about 5-6 minutes. We'll come back about 6 minutes. In 6 minutes time, and we'll mark it then. So I'll see you in a second. First I should just let you know, as always, answer every question, always make a guess, why the hell not, spell your team name correctly, press submit. You knew that. I'll see you in a moment.
I've wandered up and down the streets of gold, and I've seen the thoughts of those you'll never know. I carry wisdom that you can't ignore. I'm not a prophet, no, but I've seen my words unfold before. And I've seen the cities crushed beneath the flood. And I've seen the people thirst for each other's blood. streets of gold. And I've seen the thoughts of those you'll never know. I carry wisdom that you can't ignore. I'm not a prophet, no, but I've seen my words unfold before. And I've seen.
Hello, I'm back. As you can see, I've switched to night mode. I really need a haircut. I'm like, I hate looking at my head. It's made it worse. It'll do. I miss Ali, my hairdresser. He's so good at hairdressing. I miss him so much. Oh well. Let me see. Has everyone got their answers in? Oh, we're still looking for about 15, 20. Submit, you guys. Come on, get them in. Get them in. But people seem to have done pretty well on that round, as I expected. There's a couple where the spelling's a little bit off. Don't worry, we're never going to punish you for that. It's not a spelling competition. It's just a quiz, baby. It'll be okay. Still looking for about 10 teams. People already asking me about the next round. Shouldn't be a problem with the next round. Let me just double check. I've not checked the mobile as ever. Yeah, so Phil and Charlotte have both spoken about the map that you'll need for round 4. The map should be there on the page with you as you're answering the questions, and I've included the map on every slide during the questions as well. So you should all be okay there, but if anyone has any problems for it, I'll post it somewhere. I've not posted it online. Okay, I think we've got everyone in. Yeah, we're in the mid-50s. We should be okay. So let's take a look at what these were, shall we? Go to quiz mode. Quiz mode. I'll put you on a very short break there. My apologies. So number 1, that lyrics being Mama just killed a man. You know it, of course. It's Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. It was number 1 when it was released, first of all, in 1975 as well, but was number 1 again on Freddie Mercury's Death, 1991. Question number 2, that was Mull of Kintyre by Wings from 1997. The one that was Far Have I Travelled and Much Have I Seen. I did cut off the name of it at the end, but you could have got it on the... It rhymed with fire, Mull of Kintyre. Number 3 from 1963. That is She Loves You by the Beatles. So 2 Paul McCartneys in a row there, but you think you lost love. Well, I saw her yesterday, I think I've just got a message from Rodri because he accidentally put She Loves Me instead of She Loves You. Hey, it happens. So He Loves You by the Beatles. Number 4, that was Karma Chameleon by Culture Club. Without conviction. You Come and Go, probably being the giveaway there. Number 5 from 1998, that was Believe by Cher. Gonna be the lonely one. I think the last time Cher had number 1, I'm pretty sure. Number 6, Rising Up, Back on the Street. I was surprised this sold so many records, but that was Eye of the Tiger by Survivor from Rocky 3. A big hit, apparently. That was number 6. Number 7, Rivers of Babylon from Boney M. I wouldn't have got this one. There the wicked carried us away in captivity, required us from a song. Now how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? I think it's one of the best 10 selling singles of all time in the UK. And Boney M are like the 5th best-selling singles band in the UK history, which is remarkable. Also, German band. The best-selling German band of all time. Interesting. Number 8. This version from 1995, it was Unchained Melody, Robson and Jerome's version, I was counting it as, though Unchained Melody has been number 1 4 different times. But this is the one that's best-selling. I think since it had been done by... Gareth Gates had a version of it as well. I can't remember the other two, sadly. But that was the Robson and Jerome version that did so well in 1995. Oh, My Love, My Darling. From Ghost. We've all seen Ghost. Number 9. I don't think I'd have got this one, from 2013. I'm Feeling My Way Through the Darkness, Guided by the Beat. That's Wake Me Up by Avicii. Audrey did a very different job to the original track, I think. And finally, number 10, that was Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5, featuring Christina Aguilera. Just shoot for the stars, it feels right. Just aim for your heart if you feel like it. I always enjoyed when the first time I went to university, this was like the big hit during freshers, and I would dance like Mick Jagger during the chorus, and I'd very much enjoy myself. Anyway, that's your break. We'll be back. Let's come back at 10 minutes past, so I'll give you about 9 minutes. Grab a beer, grab a drink. I'm going to go get a Solero. I've got a Solero in the freezer and I'm looking forward to it. I will grab that. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and we'll get going with the next round. So I'll see you then.
The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. To the doctor, said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. Said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. Won't all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear? Yesterday I spoke to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can. He said, son, I don't really know you, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you gotta go, you ought to do it with style, you know. Yeah, so go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. No, I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. So all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. Yeah, so all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. Went to the doctor, said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. The preacher said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. Won't all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear? Yesterday I spoke to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can. He said, son, I don't really know you, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you gotta go, you ought to do it with style, you know. Yeah, so go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. No, I've had a lot of practice, so
Hello, hello, hello. We are back. I am refreshed, having eaten a delicious Solero. I always find Soleros get a bit too frozen. Can be an issue. Wasn't too much of an issue this time. It was a delicious treat. However, at the end, I sort of like went to pull the last bit off, and it sort of exploded everywhere. Luckily, where it did land on my shirt, it landed lower than you can see now, and that's what matters. And it was delicious. So it did remind me of the time that me, my mum and my sister were in the car when we were young, and my sister had a Solero, and like the top bit broke off like a little bit, and she was like, "Mum, what should I do?" And she was like, "Throw it out the window." And my mum and my sister threw the bit on the lolly stick out the window and just had like a tiny bit of Solero left in her hand. She's never changed, and I love her for it. Got a couple more donations from Jess and from Lilith Cooper. Thank you very much to both of you. Very, very, very much appreciated. But anyway, we're onwards now to round 4. Obviously. What else would we be doing? Come on. I'm calling this round Land of Hope and Glory. No, it's not that good, is it? It's been a nightmare lately. I don't know if you've noticed living here, but hey, we'll see. For those of you who did this quiz 3 or 4 weeks ago, you will recognise how this works, I am sure. Let's get to it. It works like this. Oh, as you'll see on the Google Sheet, you have this map. I'm going to keep the map on every screen throughout this as well, so that should hopefully help. And you're going to get a question next to it, like this. Where is the English opening to the Channel Tunnel? Simple geography question, but you know, it'll be mixed up. You're always looking for a place, though. So where is the English side of the Channel Tunnel? Of course, it is in Dover. It's just outside Dover, at the point, it's basically the shortest point between England and France, and that's obviously down in that bottom corner, F7. So for every question, you don't need to write the answer, you need to give me the grid coordinate. If you write for that question, if you wrote Dover, you wouldn't get a point. You need to put F7. These are rounds that I do because it's very easy for us to mark. We can just search, we don't have to look at your spelling. Just give me a capital letter and then the number. That's all you need to do for all of these. The map will remain on screen for every question, and it's at the top of your answer sheet. If you're on phone or if you're on your laptop, you'll be able to see it. Should be okay. Last time we did this, of course, we did American geography. I'm hoping this will be easier. Toby says, no, it's not. It's in Folkestone. Well, the train starts there, Toby, doesn't it? But it's like... But the bit where it leaves... Whatever, it's in the same box. I trust you, Toby. I know you're from down that way. Living in the tunnels like a little weirdo, but it's basically the same area, isn't it? Anyway, it's in that box. That's all that matters. So let's do this. Question number 1: where is the highest peak in the British Isles? Where is the highest peak in the British Isles? I have no doubt you all know the answer to this one, but where exactly is it? That is the question this evening. People are saying it's Folkestone. I believe you guys. I'm sure it's Folkestone. I didn't realise all of your team was from the Kent area, Toby. Interesting. To be honest, when I was trying to find details for it, I couldn't find a completely perfect version of it that said exactly where it was, so I went for that, but my apologies. To the Folkestone crew who are so angry about Folkestone. Harry says Dover Genneggy, very, and Toby says it smells of eggs. Doesn't surprise me. Seems like a horrid old place. So all you need to do, think what is the highest peak in the British Isles, find it on this map, and give me the grid reference for where it is. I'm going to go through these reasonably sharpish. We're doing good time today, though. We've caught up, I think. Let's move to question numero dos. Where was the TV show Broadchurch set? Where was the TV show Broadchurch set? Of course, it was set in Broadchurch, which is fictional. But where was that fictional place supposed to be? Where was that supposed to be? If you can find it, find the grid reference and give me the answer. Also, just as this might help some people going on from last time, though I'm not going to say if it's particularly relevant this time, there might be more, unlike other rounds, answers might repeat. You might find a couple things that are in the same box. So do bear that in mind. This one, not one of those so far yet. Fact, Pocahontas is buried in Kent. That's true, Harry. Interestingly. Not a lot of people know that. When she married, not John Smith from the film, but a different guy called John, right? John, I can't remember. It was in a crossword I did the other day. I should remember. Annoying that I have not. Anyway, that's question 2. Where was Broadchurch set? Question number 3. Where is the world's largest arts festival held each August? Where is the world's largest arts festival held each August? Of course, sadly, not happening this year, due to the whole thing that's happening. But normally, in your average year, where is the world's largest arts festival held? Where is the world's largest arts festival held? That's question number 3. Question number 4. Where was the Magna Carta signed by King John in 1215? Where was the Magna Carta signed by King John in 1215? I can see the Kent contingent of the quiz are having an argument about it. Well, not an argument. I mean, they all seem to agree that that Gravesend is a shithole. So that's nice to have some consistency in the group chat. Everyone on one side. That is question number 4. Where was the Magna Carta signed by King John in 1215? This is one where I know the answer, but I've no idea where the answer is. I think this is what makes it a fun round. You can't just have that word-based book learning. You've got to have some sort of geographical idea of the world. Question number 5. Where was the atom first split by Ernest Rutherford and his team? He didn't do it alone. In 1917. Where was the atom first split by Ernest Rutherford in 1917? With a sort of a... I mean, the team was a strong team. I think Niels Bohr was on the team. I think Wittgenstein was on the team. Some big names. Big names of learning. And also I think these are good rounds because if you don't know, you can just guess. That's question number 5. Nerdfest UK says down the middle. You're not wrong. He did split it down the middle. I assume... Did he split the atom directly in half? Maybe he just chipped a bit off the side. I don't know if I've read the science about that. I hope it was down the middle, Nerdfest UK. That's certainly how I imagine it. If you can imagine such an infinitesimal event. So that is question number 5. Where was the atom first split? Question number 6. Where was the travel tavern that Alan Partridge lived in for 183 days? Where was the travel tavern that Alan Partridge lived in for 183 days? Maybe not particularly expecting you to know it off by heart, but he does explain the importance of the place that he stays in the first series of I'm Alan Partridge. I'm sure that'll help you find it. And question number 6. Where was the travel tavern that Alan Partridge lived in for 183 days? Question number 7. Where does the football team nicknamed the Black Cats play? Where does the football team nicknamed the Black Cats play? Harry says the members of Atom had pretty shit solo careers afterwards. I mean, I think they went on to some pretty big things, but hey. Ludwig Wittgenstein. I don't know what he was doing there. He was a philosopher. Trying to logic his way around the atom. Maybe it was needed. And that is your question number 7. Where does the football team nicknamed the Black Cats play? Question number 8. Where did Leopold Bloom spend the 16th of June 1904? Where did Leopold Bloom spend the 16th of June 1904? A little bit of a rhyme there. Didn't mean it. That's lovely though. That's question number 8. Where did Leopold Bloom spend the 16th of June 1904? Onwards to question number 9, penultimate question this round. Where is the city called Aqua Sulis by the Romans? Where is the city called Aqua Sulis by the Romans? Like all of my questions in all of my rounds, other than the connections round, the order of the questions is designed by a randomizer. I use a randomizer to try and create a fair mix of questions. So if you're seeing any patterns in the places, don't. It's not done on purpose. Sometimes I think I maybe should try and put a pattern in there and try and make you work out like a meta level quiz, but that's maybe too much work for me. I got another donation. That donation is from Vanda. Thank you very much. She says, thanks for all the awesome quizzes. You're very, very welcome. Glad to have you on board. I know you're enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed the music round this week. I know you've enjoyed the last few. So that's question number 9. Where is the city called Aqua Sulis by the Romans? And finally, for this round, question number 10. Where were the Manic Street Preachers formed? Where were the Manic Street Preachers formed? Excellent band. One of my dad's favourites. He particularly loves the song From Despair to Where. There's a bit where it goes really loud, and he loves turning that up really loud in his car to try and scare my little brother. I doubt my little brother's watching today, but if you are, hi Ben, love you. I texted my little brother earlier and I asked him how he's doing. He said, fine. I said, you've been up to much? He said, no. I said, have you got any big interesting questions that you want to ask the universe that you've never asked before? And he said, what's your favourite pizza? I told him. And hopefully that was enough for him. Who knows? Strange boy. Do love him though. So that's question number 10. Where were the Manic Street Preachers formed? That's the last question in this round. So remember, all you need for this round is a grid reference. So you have no excuse. Make a guess for every single question. Don't you dare leave a box blank. Put your finger somewhere on that map, choose that box, put it in if you don't know. Please spell your team name the same way you have every other time, and then press submit. I'm going to give you up until past to get these answers in. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes and we'll mark them then.
And lately you haven't been listening the way you used to be near me. But I can't let it
Hello, we're back. Big in the chat. Max says, any gamers remember James Bond 95 on PS2 going for £3 on Amazon, still in the century? Cannot agree with him more. An incredible game for me. Certainly behind GoldenEye 007, the best Bond game. I did quite enjoy like Everything or Nothing for the PS2 in terms of the single player plot, but for multiplayer gameplay, I think Nightfire is massive hit game. And after a little conversation about pizza, Matt the Whale says, I want a pizza. You and me both, brother. I would love a pizza. I think I'm going to have some tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. Let me check if everyone has got their answers in for this round. Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, in the 50s, where we want to be. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone. So, let's take a look at these answers then, shall we? In this round, Land of Hope and Glory. And Ireland. Ireland was involved in one question as well. I'm sure there's a lot of hope and glory there. Great bunch of lads. Let's see. Question number 1. Where is the highest peak in the British Isles? Of course, it is Ben Nevis, near Fort William. It's up there in C2. You can see it there. Where was the TV show Broadchurch set? That was set. These are all coming in different orders, and I don't know why. That's confusing. My apologies. In the south coast of Devon, which is in D7. Down there. That's where they talk like that. Beth Latimer. You know, Denny Latimer's been murdered. Number 3. Where is the world's largest art festival held in August? I don't know which bit's going to come up first. Let's find out. It's that bit. D3. It's obviously Edinburgh. The Edinburgh Festival. Up there. The fourth of fifth. Number 4. Where was the Magna Carta signed by King John in 1215? That was signed at Runnymede, which is basically sort of West London, the sort of Eton-y, Slough area. And that's in E6, down there. Number 5, where was the atom first split by Ernest Rutherford and team in 1917? That's Manchester, D5. There. Surprising, isn't it? It's such an important, massive event. You'd think, is it happening in Manchester? No, it did happen in Manchester. Surprising. Very, very surprising. But no, they did it. Great job. Great job then. Just got a message through from Sophie Littlechild, who runs the Blue Moon in Cambridge. She says they're open Thursday to Saturday, 3 to 8 for their pizzas, and they're excellent pizzas, collection only. I do recommend those. Go, definitely go, if you're in Cambridge. Number 6, where was the travel tavern that Alan Partridge lived in for 183 days? It was in Linton, very near Cambridge. It was the Linton Travel Tavern, because Linton is equidistant between London and Norwich, so it's perfect. So that is an F6, just there. Alan, a great time that he spent there. Of course, that's where he met Michael, and a great friendship would start. Number 7, where does the football team nicknamed the Black Cats play? The Black Cats, of course, are Sunderland, and they're up there in E4, just below the line. Question number 8. Where did Leopold Bloom spend the 16th of June 1904? Leopold Bloom is the lead character in James Joyce's seminal modernist novel, Ulysses, and that's set in Dublin. That's C5, just there. Number 9, where is the city called Aqua Sulis by the Romans? The Aqua may be a clue, because of water. That is Bath, and that is in D6, just there, just under the Bristol Channel. And number 10, where the Manic Street Preachers formed? They were formed in Blackwood and Caerphilly, and that is also in D6, but a different section of D6 over there. Answers seem pretty good, pretty consistent from everyone. So very, very well done. I hope you enjoyed that one. Let's see what's in the chat. Harry Robinson says, From Russia with Love is the Elite Bond game. Not a bad game, Harry, for me, but not my favourite. I feel that I get what they were doing. But, you know, just not my fave. Ben says, what are your thoughts and feelings on Animal Crossing New Horizons? I've not played it. I've not really played much of the Animal Crossing series, but I hear great things. I would love to get involved, but maybe at a later date. Much more excited. They've announced a new Paper Mario. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Max says he's adding them all to his purchase list. Great to hear. Phil Weaver, who I'm assuming is a Sunderland fan, says away the lads. Lovely to hear it. And Jack says, what are your thoughts and feelings on the pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre? It's a nightmare. No, I'm pro it. I'm not Alan. I'm very much pro pedestrianisation in city centres. I think it's a good thing. Anyway, that was round number 4. Onwards we go to what is always our last round, your fave. It's the connections round. Yeah, the connections round. Woo! So, as always, you are gonna see 10 questions. The first 9 of those questions are going to be pretty general knowledge, a range of different subjects. However, all or part of the answers to those questions will have a connection. They'll all come together, they'll link somehow, and that will give you the answer to question number 10, and that will be, what is the connection? If you get connection correct, you'll get 6 points. Pretty good. So it's important to get the connection. I will say, I think it's a slightly harder connection this week. And I've also kind of built into it a red herring connection. If you only get a few of the answers, maybe towards the end, you might think it's one connection. But it's not that. There's another connection. So maybe bear that in mind. But otherwise, I'm sure you guys are going to smash it. More comments. Ben says, thanks for accepting my friend request, by the way. Did I get a friend request from you? I don't remember, Ben, but I'm sure I accepted it. Austin says, how do you sneak around a cheese factory? I mean, it's a great question. Yaroslav says he wants to go to Sunderland so much. You're the first person to ever say that, Yaroslav. Daniel just learned, Mez says, Daniel just learned with joy, shouting with joy on learning Paper Mario is coming back. It looks great, Daniel. It's origami based. It looks beautiful. And Max says, smell my cheese, you mother. A fantastic moment. Anyway, let's get on with this, shall we? Let's get on to question number 1 in this connections round. Here we are. Connection number 1. Link is the playable character, speaking of video games, Link is the playable character and hero in which series of games for Nintendo consoles? Link is the playable character and hero in which series of video games for Nintendo consoles? Please give me a second series. I will appreciate carefully. That's very nice, Austin. It's very, very nice. People, a couple of people sending me guesses. I'm not doing guesses. I've not done them the last couple of weeks. You can't send me your connection guesses. I'm not doing them because otherwise I spend this whole round looking at my phone, and it's bad. But I will tell you, Dan, your guess was wrong anyway. Lots of people enjoying the partridge accent and the impression. I'll try and put in some more, Alan, as we go. An inspiration for any budding broadcaster, I'm sure. Certainly when me and Jack and Matt and Julian and others presented our Cambridge 105 sports show, it was very easy to slip into a goal. He's got a foot like a traction engine. Michael! It's more partridge in the chat, please. Always enjoy a bit of Alan. Anyway, that's question number 1 in this round. Link is the playable character and hero in which series of games for Nintendo consoles? Remember, I'm normally hiding the connection a bit more in the first question. The first few. Question number 2. Which British surgeon and pioneer of antiseptics gives his name to both a foodborne bacteria and a brand of mouthwash? Which British surgeon and pioneer of antiseptics gives his name both to a foodborne bacteria and a brand of mouthwash? The brand actually is an American brand, but they just decided to name it after him. It has nothing to do with him. Got a couple more donations. Thank you very much to Daisy. Donation from Daisy, thank you. And one from Jules. Thank you, Jules. I hope you're doing well. And a couple of people have said Broadchurch is set in Dorset, not Devon. Yeah, I think you're right. It's still the same area. I think I just confused Dorset and Devon because they sound the same. But I still put it in the right place on the map. My apologies for that mistake. We're allowed to do one, right? Considering I rushed through this quiz today and forgot to eat doing it, I think I did okay. So question number 2. Which British surgeon and pioneer of antiseptics gives his name both to a foodborne bacteria and a brand of mouthwash? Question number 3. Known for his big hair and eye makeup, who has been lead singer of The Cure since they were founded? Known for his big hair and eye makeup, who has been the lead singer of The Cure since they were founded? Tom Ives says full name or surname only. I assume on question 2 that one is. I will accept just the surname. Of course, I would prefer the full name, but for that one, the surname should be fine. And Brenner asked the same. Doesn't need to be a full name. I'll accept surname, but if you've got the first name, that's better. If you're not sure on the first name, don't put it. Because if you get the wrong first name, you're then definitely wrong. So I don't want that. In the chat, Jack says, Lynn, I've pierced my foot on a spike. A classic moment. We've all done it. We've all pierced our feet on spikes. Alan is very much like one of us. So that's question 3. Known for his big hair and eye makeup, who has been lead singer of The Cure since they were founded? For all of these answers, I would like, first name, surname. For sort of historical figures, scientists, a surname will just do, but first name, surname is always preferable. Question number 4. The Portland Trail Blazers, Milwaukee Bucks, Utah Jazz, and the Boston Celtics all play which sport in the US? The Portland Trail Blazers, the Milwaukee Bucks, Utah Jazz, and the Boston Celtics all play which sport in the US? And now James Avis is just writing, Dan! 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 Etc. They're sex people, Lyd. I always like, what's rude about a body? I don't know, tits? Classic. So that's question number 4. The Portland Trail Blazers, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Utah Jazz, and the Boston Celtics all play which sport in the US? Question number 5. Which food writer came to provenance with a blog, now called Cooking on a Bootstrap, that aims to suggest meals that cost less than £10 a week for a family? Which food writer came to prominence with a blog, now called Cooking on a Bootstrap, that aims to suggest meals that cost less than £10 a week for a family? Get away from me, you mentalist. That's number 5. Which food writer came to prominence with a blog, now called Cooking on a Bootstrap, that aims to suggest meals that cost less than £10 a week for a family? Question number 6. Peter Sellers first portrayed Inspector Jacques Clouseau in which 1963 film named for the diamond of which he attempting to stop the theft, of which he is? Kill me, dead. Fuck's sake. My apologies. Peter Sellers first portrayed Inspector Jacques Clouseau in which 1963, named for the diamond of which he is attempting to stop the theft? Originally, I was going to write that of which he's trying to attempt the theft of, and then I've realised you shouldn't end phrases with of, so I tried to mix it around, and I've made some typographical errors, for which I can only apologise again. I am clinically thick. But I think you understand what I'm trying to ask for. What's the name of that film? That Inspector Clouseau's in it. You get it. You get me. Yaroslav says, lol, no clue what you're all talking about. Yaroslav, mate, I'm Alan Partridge. Get on it. I mean, I don't know if it's humour that will translate. I hope it does, because it's a delight. I think it's all on Netflix. If you got the old Netflix, I'm sure you do. Who doesn't? It's Netflix. That's question number 6. Peter Sellers first portrayed Inspector Jacques Clouseau in which 1963 film, named for the diamond of which he is attempting to stop the theft? Number 7. Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, and Code Names are all 21st century releases of what type of pastime? Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, and Code Names are all 21st century releases of what type of pastime? I am very fond of Ticket to Ride. I've played both of the others. But Ticket to Ride. Wow. Charlotte says, there is no link, you're trying to lie to us. You're lying to us. I mean, it's not a bad idea. One time I maybe should do the link that there is no link and just try and trick you. But I can assure you that is not the case. It's just... It's more hidden. It's a harder connection this week. I think the connections have clearly been too easy, and I needed to give you something to really challenge yourselves, and hopefully I've done that. Message from Chris Tier. He's a big fan of Code Names. Glad to hear it. It is good. It's very good. I bought it for Christmas a few years ago, and my sister was just spent the whole time going, this is rubbish. This is rubbish. So I just went, I won't play it then. And destroyed it. I think we should, just get on with it. It's Christmas. That is question number 7. Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, and Code Names are all 21st century releases of what type of pastime? Question number 8. What was the name of the gang of greasers led by Danny Zuko in the musical Grease? What was the name of the gang of greasers led by Danny Zuko in the musical Grease? I assume that's where the name Grease comes from. All I know is that Grease is the word. That's question number 8. Question number 9, the final of the regular questions. Which animated character, the star of 2 feature-length films of his own, first appeared in Wallace & Gromit's 1995 short, A Close Shave? Which animated character, the star of 2 feature-length films of his own, first appeared in Wallace & Gromit's 1995 short, A Close Shave? Hublander UK says, I can't see a connection in these answers. I assure you, Hublander, it's there. I'm told you it's a harder one this week. You guys are too good. I needed to challenge you. And of course, that leads us to the last question. Question number 10. What is the connection? What is the connection? And I'm really making you earn those 5 extra points, I think. So find the connection in the questions beforehand. Write it in there. What is the connection? And then press submit. Standard. I'll sort of give you a clue. It's sort of one word that you're looking for. I'll give you that. It's one word. That'll be all you need to submit. Sometimes, it's something a bit complicated, like, the moon landing. And you'll have different ways of spelling that. You could literally just give me one word and that would be correct. So, that is your lot there. Make sure, as always, you've answered every question. Make a guess, even for the connection. Even if you've got a few, make a guess. It might be that red herring up, though. Spell your team name correctly. Press submit. Send that through. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll be right back.
I've wandered up and down the streets of gold, and I've seen the thoughts of those you'll never know. I carry wisdom that you can't ignore. I'm not a prophet, no, but I've seen my words unfold before. And I've seen the cities crushed beneath the flood. And I've seen the people thirst for each other's blood.
Hey, what's up? They're trickling in, but it is a trickle. It is a trickle. Still got about half of you to get it in. Half of you. Some people have got it though. A good amount have got it, so it's not too difficult. A lot of people just texted me and telling me their head hurts, which is, it's good. We're here to exercise that old brain. Harling says worth a point even if it's wrong with his guess, which is lovely to hear. No, people have done pretty good, and as always, it's the interesting wrong guesses that I'm always fascinated by. Sophie seems worried that she changed the answer and went wrong. People are asking. Toby said, "Is it this?" Though you said not to mess. I'm not going to tell you, Toby. The whole point is I'm not telling anyone. Still got 4 or 5 of you to get them in. I'm going to give you until the end of the next minute. So hurry up, because I won't count entries that may have come in late. Especially when these 5 points, I think, are going to matter a lot. Probably looking maybe 10 people have got the connection so far, I think. Maybe 12, 11 or 12. So it's definitely been what I wanted. A bigger challenge. Still waiting for a couple. Nancy's got hers in. If by the time my clock turns 59 you're not in, you're not scoring. So get them in quick. Okay, I think that is everyone. Ollie, I think you're the last person to get in. So let's take a look at these answers together, shall we? Boom. In the chat, my mum's guessed cocktails, as always. Shannon says, at least we keep you fascinated. You always do, Shan. You're doing a great job. Paige says, come on, page 2. I believe in you, Paige. I believe it's your week. Hublander says, we guessed, but we only found this channel during round 4 and was only to take part in round 5. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Hublander. Very, very pleased. We're here every week at 7:30. So, join in whenever you want. Tell your friends. Let's take a look at these answers. Question number 1. Link is the playable character and hero in which series of games for Nintendo consoles? That's, of course, The Legend of Zelda. If you put just Zelda, I'll give you the point as well. But The Legend of Zelda is the name of the series. Number 2, which British surgeon and pioneer of antiseptics gives his name to both a foodborne bacteria and a brand of mouthwash? That is Joseph Lister. Listeria being the foodborne pathogen. And Listerine, of course, the brand of mouthwash. Number 3. Known for his big hair and eye makeup, who's the lead singer of The Cure? That is Robert Smith. Number 4, the Blazers, the Trailblazers, the Bucks, the Jazz and the Celtics are all basketball teams. Happy to throw something in basketball. We're all watching The Last Dance. If you've not watched The Last Dance, why are you not watching The Last Dance? It's great. Though I did see like a late teenager the other day wearing a Bulls jersey out, and I was like, that's embarrassing, mate. Come on. Just because it's popular now. I mean, you're too late. You're 25 to you're too late for that bandwagon. Number 5, which food writer came to prominence with her blog Cooking on a Bootstrap? That is Jack Monroe. Number 6, Peter Sellers first portrayed Clouseau in which film? That was the Pink Panther. Number 7, Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, and Codenames are all what? They're all board games. Number 8, what was the name of the gang of greasers led by Danny Zuko in the musical Grease? That was the T-Birds. And number 9, which animated character first appeared in A Close Shave? That was Shaun the Sheep. So you've got Leg, List, Smith, Bull, Jack, Panther, Board, Bird, and Sheep. What connects them? Black. They can all be followed. They can all follow the world black. Black leg, like a scab, a strike breaker. Blacklist, to remove someone from something, or the TV show The Blacklist. Blacksmith, of course, who metalworks. To Black Ball, to vote someone out. Blackjack, the game or the suite. Black Panther, the superhero and the animal. Blackboard, which you write on with chalk. Blackbird, it's a bird, it's a little black bird. And Black Sheep, a literal black sheep, or metaphorically an outcast. The connection is black blank. So if you got that, you'll be getting 6 big points. And as I said, only about a fifth or sixth of the teams tonight got that. So that is big, big, big. So me and Alice are going to count up these scores for you. I'll give you a few minutes to work out that. I will put some more music, and we should be back in the next 5 minutes with the results. I'll be right with you.
The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. Went to the doctor, said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. Said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. Won't all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear? Yesterday I spoke to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can. He said, son, I don't really know you, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you gotta go, you ought to do it with style, you know. Yeah, so go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. No, I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. So all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. Yeah, so all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay.
Hello, I'm back, and I have a winner. A big moment. For this 9th LJ's quarantine quiz. We should probably find out who that is. I'm going to give their team captain a telephone call. If I can just find the sheet with the phone numbers. There's a lot of phone numbers. Give me a second. I've got to search through them with my eyes. Their phone number's not there, so I'll just have to call them via Facebook. Just ringing. Ringing.
Hello. So I was on the toilet. How you doing?
Hey Toby, I'm not bad. How are you?
Yeah, all good. I'm all good. How's things?
Yeah, pretty good. You have won the quiz.
Oh, perfect.
Team
Not
wanking
yet.
from home. It's the 3-peat. You've not done it back to back. It's been a few weeks since you won. I think was it week 4 the last time you won?
Oh yeah, it was ages ago. Yeah.
It has been a while, but you guys are back in it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How did you feel it went?
Pretty good, pretty smoothly. It was a joke what we thought the last connection was, and then you said it was black. We're like, oh, okay, cool, nice one.
I mean,
we didn't actually know.
You won.
It just seemed like that.
You won. Yeah. You won just on that connection, really. You guys scored 54, which means you only got one wrong the whole time.
Oh, was that the Lord of the Rings? Because I just put Return of the King because I'm
no,
lazy.
we allowed people that in the end because people moaned it. There was one in the map round you didn't get right, but otherwise 54. If you hadn't got that connection at the last minute, there was a team just behind you, Best Fens Forever, led by Jenny, who scored 51, and just Jack Lewis on 50. So a very good performance. Congratulations. Have you got any comments you want to thank the people in your team?
Oh yeah, cheers lads. You did most of the work.
Do you want to give them a shout out?
I just did the writing really. I don't answer the question.
I mean, it's a crucial element, though, Tommy. So well done.
Yeah. Cheers.
You can be back to keep your crown next week in the 10th quarantine quiz.
Can we change the name? Because we've now all been furloughed, so none of us are actually wanking from home.
Yeah, of course you can. You can do that anytime.
Yeah, safe. All right, nice one.
Okay,
all right.
Thanks, mate.
See
you later. Bye-bye. That's Toby Shaw there from Team Wanking From Home, along with Josh and Demi. A very, very good win. They just snuck that connection through at the end, it seems. Big commiserations to Jenny's team, who did come second. I will, of course, post the final table up on the Facebook page. But I hope you've had fun. The chat seems to be mostly people just confused about the phrase blackleg. It's a thing. You can Google it. I only really know it from the lyrics to Billy Bragg's "There is power in a union," used at the end of the film Pride. Very powerfully. Down with the blackleg, or work as you like. With our brothers and our sisters in many far-off lands, there is power in a union. Very important words. I'm sure you'll agree. Anyway, don't be afraid to donate if you've not already. PayPal.me/LJ47. Been giving the winners their money, but all the rest will be split between charity, and I'll take a little bit off the edge for me, for my costs, but that won't be much. Most of it will be going to this week's charity, Learning Together, a very important charity, I'm sure you'll agree. But I hope you've all had fun. As always, I'll be back. I was thinking about maybe taking next week off because I'm mentally drained, but it's the 10th, and I feel like I should, if I take a break, do it after that, right? But as always, tell your friends, invite all the people you know, and I'll see you next week. Stay safe, be kind, and go well. I'll see you later. Bye bye.